All right, this episode's called The Jedi, and let's see where it takes us. I'm really excited. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Three, two, one, play.
Yeah, she said Mandalore degrade. That is straight up old school Mandalorian stuff that
Yeah.
is really fuzzy still. Not stop that.
Yeah. And they are definitely alluding to the whole Force stuff with this episode, so I wonder who the Jedi could be.
The Last Jedi, maybe?
No.
Good.
I'm hoping it doesn't just, take until the very end of the episode.
hmm
Yeah, they're showing this in the previously on for a reason. On the bright side, I'm really glad they didn't just wait until the last episode like I was concerned they might. Whoa.
For whom the bell tolls.
Look at that gorgeous cinematography. Holy shit. I mean, I knew Mando had good visuals, but. Oh!
Yep.
There she is, already, right off the bat.
Wasting no time. The
Awesome.
lightsabers and makeup look really good.
Yeah, and they got the white sabers from Rebels, so.
hmm First white lightsabers in a live action show.
Yeah, looks really good.
Oh, and she turned the blades off to disappear into the fog. That's a nice touch.
That is awesome. Oh, that's a cool shot because actually in Clone Wars, I think one of her things is that she has like a little bit of a speed boost.
Yeah, that's a pretty common force power.
That's pretty cool.
So remind me, Craig, because I don't think I watched the finale to Rebels. Where was Ahsoka by the end of that show?
She was going off with Sabine to find more like Jedi kind of thing, like trying to start up the Jedi again.
Okay.
And also snuffing out the last of the Empire, too.
I don't know why, but I feel like Ahsoka looks a little younger than she should be.
Well, for her species, and because she's a Jedi and they age much slower, and given her last appearance in Rebels, it's pretty fitting, I think.
No, she looks. I don't know. For whatever reason, General Grievous. You're shorter than I expected. I don't know.
I'm glad they picked this actress.
You know, it's nice to finally see a real Jedi in this franchise again.
It is. But also, I'm so glad she didn't fall for that bullshit threat because it's kind of like with what they did
Oh, that's another good
today. It's
shot.
like, oh yeah. Um, but it's like, I don't care about these people, so if you attack, they'll die and suffer. And it's like, they're already dying and suffering under your rule. That's why I'm doing this. So I'm glad she didn't fall for that bullshit.
Mhm.
Like they were concerned about in Game of Thrones for some reason.
No. Those are the eyes of a troublemaker.
Yep, there's the reincorporated ball from season one.
Hmm.
Yeah, use the force, get that thing. That's a really cool looking planet. Also, a planet in Star Wars that actually looks unique and
Yeah.
interesting. Holy shit. Like, freaking finally.
Yeah, this is the most, honestly, this feels like the most Star Wars looking setting I've seen in a while. And that includes the fact that
Yeah.
we've seen Tatooine. Not that Tatooine looked bad in either episode it appeared in this show, but I'm getting a good vibe so far. Like I'm getting the
Yes.
feeling that they put a lot of effort to this episode specifically.
Yeah, it seems like it. Especially in the cinematography. This episode's had excellent cinematography so far.
Hmm. Let me think. The only two other missed planets that I can think of is Umbara and Dathomir.
Yeah. And this is Corvus.
Yeah.
Dude, that's Michael Bean.
Who?
That's Michael Bean, the dude who he's talking to up top.
What stuff is he played in?
He was Hicks in Aliens.
Oh, okay.
That's a cool cameo. Also, that's actually smart. That is a much better hiding place for Baby Yoda than his little hover thing.
He's got him in this satchel?
Yeah, and it's hidden behind his cape.
Okay.
So that is a much smarter hiding place. Because this is, an unknown planet, so he probably doesn't want the rulers to see him. Just in case they're Empire affiliated.
Boy, doesn't this look like a happy place to be?
I'm loving the setting, though.
Oh no, it's really, yeah, it's really
Really
good.
cool. Since it looks so cool, I'm just like, I wouldn't mind visiting. And that actually makes sense, actually. I'm glad they threw that line in at the beginning that established that, like, the rulers don't care about the lives of these citizens.
Gee, what makes you think that?
And and clearly that guy knew it. So that would make sense that he would, not tell Mando anything and kind of like rat him out. I'm glad that just wasn't just like, a stupid convenience.
Oh look, everything's all hunky dory within the, with the fucking military fortress where all the rich people live, but everywhere else it's fucking it's a fucking shithole.
Well, of course it is.
Of course it is. No, I'm an Ewok. What do you think I look like, lady? Sorry, Mando can't beat Ahsoka. We've talked about this in previous episodes, but no way in hell does Mando have a chance against Ahsoka freaking Tano.
I mean, I don't know. You do know that Beskar is impenetrable to lightsabers, right?
Yeah, but Ahsoka has this little thing called the Force, and the Force doesn't care about your stupid Beskar armor.
Oh, well, yeah.
Also,
No, I just meant in like a lightsaber combat situation.
I mean, look, man. Like, lightsaber or no lightsaber, Ahsoka's fought through two of the bloodiest wars in galactic history and survived an encounter with
I
Darth
know, but
freaking Vader.
you
Mando's
you
got
you
nothing on her.
you know he's just using these people to get a location for her. He's not actually
Oh
going
yeah,
to attack her.
like I predicted this was going to be the setup. Okay, they're going to hire him to find the Jedi, and then they're eventually they might fight a little bit, but then they're going to team up and probably kill the tyrants or whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, probably. That's cool.
Oh, they're using this
Still.
as an excuse so they can have a weapon fight because she said the spear is made out of Beskar.
Oh no, she said you can have it if you do your job.
Hmm.
So he's not taking it with him. Oh, that's a cool shot.
You can really tell they put a lot of effort into this set.
Yeah.
I wonder where they're
And
filming this at.
honestly, they've made more throwaway line excuses for like things to happen in the story. I'm actually kind of glad about that because rather than just having random conveniences just happen for the sake of it.
Yeah. I mean, I know we're not done with the episode yet, but this and episode 3 have been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that they're putting a lot of effort into the episodes with returning characters because
They want the story to be solid for those
yeah,
episodes.
yeah. I wonder how old is Ahsoka is at this point.
Well, she's like just a little kid at the beginning of Clone Wars.
She's a
So
teenager in Clone Wars, I think.
she becomes a teenager by the end, I think.
Let me see.
So, and this is 5 years after Return of the Jedi, so in her like 30s, maybe 40s. I don't know. But Rosario Dawson fits that age, so.
Actually, according to Wikipedia, she was in her mid-50s by the end of Rebels.
How old's Rosario Dawson?
I don't know. I don't know how. Oh, I don't know how old she is, but I'm saying the character Ahsoka Tano is in her
I
was
wouldn't
in her
trust
mid-50s.
Wikipedia because Wikipedia has been wrong on ages a lot. So I wouldn't be 100% sure about that.
Fair enough. I'm just
There she.
it's just a quick
Yeah,
source.
see? Yep, that confirms it. Lights. Beskar is impervious to lightsabers.
Okay. So that means Beskar is the replacement for hang on.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't gonna actually do anything. She's like,
Master Yoda, you've aged so gracefully.
she's like, I recognize that thing. The music's been solid too. I think this might be the first episode this season so far where I've noticed the music.
I mean, I have the volume down fairly low, so I can't hear the music very well, but I'll take your word for it.
And that makes sense. They're able to communicate in a way through the Force.
Telepathy.
I doubt it's like, direct talking, but it's like, just
I mean, it can be.
a
There
mutual
there's a
understanding.
bunch of different ways people communicate through the Force, but I'm assuming that because Baby Yoda's still a child, it's more imp.
Just sensing,
Yeah, like there's a like so like telepaths can talk telepathically, but there are things called empaths which
Yeah.
communicate through emotion. So
Since he's
not
still a baby, I bet it's more communicating through sensing emotions and
yeah.
thoughts, I assume.
Getting a real dig of a vibe from this scene right now. I read his mind, and holy shit, you are a bad role model.
Grogu?
We
Ah.
have a name drop! Finally! Everyone's still
Finally.
gonna call him Baby Yoda, though.
Yeah, I'm still gonna call him Baby Yoda, but I'm glad we finally got that. It's like, give him his own identity other than Baby Yoda. There was a little bit of Yoda's theme in there. I heard it.
I'll take your word for it. I can sort of hear it. They're definitely going for a more mystical tone compared to the bit more Western oriented music that the rest of the show has been around, which makes sense because, well, a fucking Jedi Master's in the scene.
Yeah.
I'll take that as a yes. Do it. Ahsoka, you have no reason not to.
No, no, not actually not, because for one thing, it's very clearly established that she doesn't believe in all the Jedi ways and that she's not really a Jedi. Like she doesn't consider herself one.
Which is
It's established in Rebels, but
I mean
also
I
she went through Anakin. So she would I think it's very reasonable that she'd be concerned about this because she went through
no, 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 you're right. It's reasonable she can be concerned without a doubt, but at the same, it's funny because despite the fact she doesn't see herself as a Jedi, she's one of the most Jedi people in on the
but
galaxy right now.
but that's from our perspective. From her point of view, she doesn't consider herself a Jedi.
Yeah,
Oh,
but her actions are nothing but Jedi. Even if she doesn't, even if she doesn't agree with the Order,
it
everything about her,
not
is,
not
you know,
technically from the
both are
way
Jedi.
not technically from the way of the prequels. That's why she left.
No, well, that's what I mean. She's not. You don't have to be a member of the Jedi Order to be a Jedi. Just because you don't. Kind of like Qui-Gon Jinn, you don't have to follow the doctrine to a T to be a true Jedi. It's about
Yeah,
being.
but
It's
she
about
left.
yeah,
He stayed a Jedi. She actually left.
yeah, but you don't. She's still more Jedi than most Jedi who were in the
What
Order
I'm
before
what
it
I'm
fell.
saying
That's
is
what I'm
it
getting at.
what I'm
In
saying
terms
is
of her
it
actions and her personality, she is Jedi to a
what
T,
what I'm
even if she
saying
doesn't think she
is
is.
this is in character for her.
It is. It is. I'm
I'm
saying.
looking at it from her perspective, not
Yeah.
ours. Because from our perspective, yes, she is tried and true Jedi, but that's not how she sees herself.
I know that,
So,
and that's part of her character flaw. I'm saying
yeah,
it's ironic that she doesn't see herself
ironic.
as a Jedi despite being one of the most Jedi people in the galaxy.
Yeah,
Probably next, like only next to Obi-Wan, really.
yeah, yeah, I'd agree with that. But well, Obi Wan's dead now, so
Yeah.
is he gonna use? Is he gonna use the ball from the ship? That'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
Also, remember too, she's not. Oh, yep, he's gonna use it. So what I was gonna say was she's not like Luke. Like she's out there to snuff out the rest of the Empire remnants, but also uh like just see if there's other Force users out there. She's not trying to start a new order. Like she's not trying to start a new order like Luke is.
Right, and I mean I can get into how I personally would handle Ahsoka's character arc long term after episodes, but for now, no, I
Yeah.
agree. It makes sense
Well,
why she doesn't want anything to do with another Jedi Order after everything she went through with the last one.
she might not have too much of a presence this season, so they might not really have an arc for her yet, you know?
Makes sense. She's kind of wearing her outfit from the end of Clone Wars, right?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, I see. I knew they would put that in because I knew I was like, that is exactly the reason why she would not want to
Yeah.
train someone.
Yeah, well, my master, a person I kind of looked up to as like a
Was
not
like
a,
one of the
like an older
greatest
brother
Jedi.
kind of figure. Yeah, he kind of killed them all.
Yeah,
I'm a little pissed about that.
I'm glad they put that in there.
Come on, you can't say no to that face.
Also, this is kind of sad, but Baby Yoda now has more training than Rey did in the entire sequel trilogy.
Who's Ray?
Just saying. I'm loving this look for her, honestly.
What's the name of the actress again?
Rosario Dawson.
I wonder how much, in preparation for her role, how much of TCW and Rebel she's been exposed to, because I'm noticing a lot of small facial expressions that to me just scream Ahsoka. Like her crossing her arms at that little smirk she gave for a second. That is that is
That
textbook
is
Ahsoka.
that is
So
very Ahsoka, yes.
mhm.
Also her running at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cool shot. So many cool shots in this episode.
Hmm.
This is giving me some Kurosawa vibes, honestly.
You're saying Kurosaka. I'm thinking Battle of Helm's Deep.
I'm loving the Kurosawa vibes. I think she's probably done this more than once.
Gee, you fucking think?
Yeah.
I mean, let me think. TCW aired in 2008,
Yeah.
so we've had over a decade with Ahsoka doing badass shit.
Yeah.
God, I feel old.
Man, now normies really have to watch Clone Wars. And they should. It's really good.
It's all right. Oh, standoff.
This is badass. Okay, I think it's safe to say at this point they've upped the cinematography significantly this episode and the set design.
Yeah. Like I said before, So for just what I've seen so far, they're putting a lot of effort into the episodes to really have returning characters.
Yeah.
Because this and when we
Both
saw Bo-Katan was another really good episode.
yeah. Both from a visual and writing perspective because they want the story to be solid for sure.
Right. Oh, man, it's so good to
Oh,
see a real Jedi in action
oh,
again.
an
Oh
actual
man.
good like choreography.
You see people like for years this is what I've been talking about in terms of watching force users in combat, you know. Like
Yeah,
this is more like not super flippy over the top the way the prequels were, but still a bit more showy than what we saw in the original trilogy.
you mean like
You
now?
know, because force users are, people with superhuman abilities, and I really wish they would express that more in anytime they're in action.
Also, that was a smart move to um, surprise attack,
Hmm.
get the drop on him. That
She's just flexing at this point.
yeah, she's just oh,
That was cool.
dude, that shot. Oh, that was
Where are you? I'm right here.
here.
Ah!
That was so cool.
I guess Ahsoka kind of is Star Wars Batman at this point.
Other than like Darth Vader, she's like my favorite character in this whole series.
I do like, I've been vocal about my dislike of a lot of changes that was made in TCW and Disney, but I will say I do think Ahsoka represents the better of that. I do
Yeah,
think um
yeah. I
I do
love
think
that. Oh,
she is a good representation of what this era of Star Wars has to offer, I think.
is this gonna be a Western standoff?
Hmm.
Show off your skills, Mando. Be smart, not an idiot. For a change.
Oh, they're gonna fight. She's gonna use the
Oh,
spear to
okay.
fight.
That's cool. I'm glad they set that up at the beginning.
Oh man, I'm getting Bruce Lee and Kill Bill flashbacks right now.
Yeah, I was thinking, this is making me think of Kill Bill right now.
Kill Bill, I think it was Chinese Connection where e- either Chinese Connection or Fist of Fury where Bruce Lee fought that one guy in like the in the Japanese garden or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely Kill Bill vibes. See, I like this too. This is making me think of those old kind of samurai duels. They're like,
Mhm.
slower, like in Harakiri.
Yeah, more methodical. It's not just nonstop action.
Hmm.
They're trying to be a little realistic in the sense that the combatants would there would be moments of pause where the combatants try to outthink the other.
Hmm.
I mean, let's be honest though, Ahsoka's just completely playing this woman.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I know this isn't her MO, but if Ahsoka really wanted to, she can just snap her neck with the Force
Yeah,
if she really wanted to.
maybe not. Maybe this woman's actually pretty skilled.
I mean, there are plenty of non-skilled. I mean, a lot of non-force sensitive combatants in the universe. It's just
Oh
that
yeah.
it's just like no matter how skilled you are, there's no supplement for a trained force user.
Oh yeah. She's not gonna win, but she definitely is, a good combatant. Yep.
He's gonna pull a gun from behind.
Yeah. Don't fall for this trick, Mando. It's the oldest trick in the book.
He's not.
Yep. Knew it. Knew he wasn't gonna fall for that. Awesome.
Nice.
I saw you up there. Oh shit.
I mean, there's no way in hell after the events of Rebels they weren't gonna at least reference Thrawn at some
Yeah.
point.
I don't know if they'll bring him back. It'll depend on where they take the show.
Yeah,
Um, or maybe it won't show up in this show. Maybe they'll do another show where it's more
maybe an
focused on
Ahsoka
Ahsoka.
spin-off.
Yeah, maybe.
Because let's be honest, Ahsoka has deserved her own show for a while. But
Yeah.
but so far everything she's appeared in, as great as she always is, she's always kind of played a shotgun seat to someone else. Like in Clone Wars, she was Anakin's sidekick. In Rebels,
Yeah.
her story was just kind of tacked on to the Rebels storyline, and then in here she's basically the cameo star in the episode.
She's like, yeah, I'm wondering if maybe she'll be like the singular episode star in this one, but then she and all the other important ones might show up in like the finale,
Oh
maybe.
yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Yeah.
But no, I think Ahsoka at this point has more than deserved her own miniseries or something. She does have her own novel, which is good, but
Oh
uh,
wait. Okay, so first off, smart choice leaving him on the ship because, that's a really dangerous place. But did they show up and kidnap him? Um, oh, wait. No, I think that's him.
yeah, yeah, it's blurred. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, he's there. Okay. Because last episode they put a tracker on his ship, so I was concerned for a minute.
yeah, but fucking Gus isn't gonna send men on on the same planet as Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That actually, you're right. That'd be a little silly if he did that, because like if he knew that Ahsoka was on that planet, since they're just a small remnant of the Empire, that'd be way too risky.
Yeah,
So, okay. That actually makes sense.
Okay, I just thought of so. Okay, I just thought of, I had a really cool idea. I'll talk about it when the episode's done.
Yeah, sure. It's
But
almost.
it involves Thrawn.
She's not gonna. Yeah, I figured she'd say that. She gonna give him a pathway, at least.
Well, I heard of this dude called Luke Skywalker who's starting up a new Jedi Academy. Maybe fit in there.
Wait.
Oh shit! She said Tython,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh shit.
Dude, Tython is a huge lore planet.
Okay.
That's a that's a big
Hold on.
fucking deal. We'll talk about that in a minute. Or a Sith Lord. Just saying. And spoiler alert, they're not going to get much more in 40 years. Fuck.
Actually, I'm glad that was the answer. That makes so much sense for her character to want Baby Yoda to make his own decision about whether or not he wants to be trained as a Jedi. That makes so
Yeah.
much sense for her character.
Right, because, no. Based on what we've seen so far, he kind of likes hanging out with Mando. At least that's the impression I've been getting.
Yeah, because, yeah, maybe he doesn't want to. Yeah. Holy shit, that makes so much sense for her character. I'm so glad they did that.
Okay, now I'm feeling the music.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling the music. Yeah, the actress who plays Ahsoka, she is nailing her facial expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
By Dave
so,
Filoni, that makes
so,
so much, and written by Dave Filoni, that makes so
yeah,
much sense.
yeah, okay, so hang on. We all agree, right? Best episode so far?
I was gonna say, honestly, not just best episode of the season so far, but the whole series. Because honestly, this is
That was really good.
this is a first for me. I have no complaints. I have nothing but praise for this episode. Honestly,
No, it's like Dave Filoni, he did his homework for this man. If
oh,
you,
that artwork is
I've
so
expressed
cool.
concern, of how they were going to handle the returning characters in our episode 1 video. But holy
Mhm.
shit, man, did they fucking nail it with
They
Ahsoka. And
nailed
Bo-Katan
it.
too, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
But like Ahsoka, like with the exception of the change of voice because different actor and whatnot. Um uh this is Ahsoka. I buy it 100%. I
yeah.
have
This is
no complaints in the portrayal of her
one
character in this
hundred
episode.
percent Ahsoka. Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
I'm so happy.
Okay.
They
So
nailed it.
there's a couple things I want to
Well done.
So there are a couple things that popped up in my head when we were talking. Um, but before I bring them up, is there anything you wanted to discuss real quick?
I really wanted to talk about the planet that she mentioned.
Tython.
Tython, yeah.
Yeah, and that was one of them. So I guess let's talk about Tython first. So do you know what Tython is, Grant?
Um, if I'm not mistaken, it's a Sith temple planet.
No,
Where
you're absolutely wrong.
okay, I'm sorry.
Amazing.
I
Everything you just said was wrong.
yeah, okay. So
No, this the
I thought that was the temple that showed up in Rebels, is what I thought.
no, that's not. That
Okay.
was I think that was Malachor, and that planet blew up again. So
Malachor, that's right, that's
no, no, no. Tython is the origin planet of the Jedi. It is where the very first version of the Jedi Order formed thousands of years ago.
oh that
It
makes
is
so
the
much
Jedi
sense.
homeworld.
That is
It is
so
located
cool.
in the deep core, which is like the very center of the galaxy, and it was the planet where there is a again not I'm iffy on how canon it is now, but in the old lore, um, there was a comic series called what's it called? Um, it's like Origin of the Jedi or something like that. I'll have to look it up to find the actual name. But basically, So a long time ago, these thousands of Force users from all across the galaxy heard the call to gather to this one planet, and on this planet they formed the Jedi Order, and that planet is Tython. So kind
Mhm.
of a big deal, very
That's
big
so
deal.
cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait
Um,
to see that.
Tython has appeared in comics, some novels. If you've played the Star Wars The Old Republic MMO, the starting area for the Jedi classes is Tython. So, yes, very big deal
I'm
to
so
drop
glad you
that.
gave me that lore lesson. That is awesome. I can't
That's
wait.
that's pretty much why I'm here is at this point, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's a big deal. Like
I wonder if we'll.
now I'm finish.
I was gonna say, I wonder if we'll get that this season. My guess is probably no.
Okay,
We won't
maybe at the very end, but
maybe.
let me say, like, whoever they got this to do the set design for this episode, they better get for Tython, because I want to see, like, imagine, like, I want to see some really cool looking ancient Jedi temples and crap, you know?
They nailed everything with this
Yeah,
episode. I'm wow. I'm impressed. This is the
mhm.
first time I've actually been impressed with Mandalorian.
Yeah, no, this was,
Now,
like, oh,
it would
like,
be
this,
it would be nice if the build up to get to this episode was a little better. That would
mhm.
be very nice, but as the singular episode on its own, it's really, really good.
Yeah, like, it's this, like, obviously this does a lot to advance the story, but, like, if for whatever reason you can only watch one episode of The Mandalorian, it would be this one.
Do the yeah,
Um,
just watch this one. I
I
mean,
mean, there's some other good episodes. Don't get me wrong, but
I'd
this
say,
was
okay, I'd say watch the first three episodes, then the finale, then just watch this one. That's all you need.
yeah,
Also, now that I think about it, that Boba Fett thing is still a tease.
yeah.
You still have
That's
that
I've been wondering.
trailer.
I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I've been wondering. This is episode one. How the hell is Boba Fett going to get off planet?
Well,
Like if he's like if he's supposed to be more involved in the story later on. Um,
well,
I'm not.
now that we're this far into the season, I wonder if he's even going to be in the rest of the season.
Yeah,
Honestly, now I'm starting to question it.
yeah. I mean, did they confirm a season three?
Oh yeah, it's already renewed.
Yeah.
Season three is happening.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, Mando has Boba's armor, so
Yeah.
he's gonna be popping up eventually, if not this season, then the next one.
Yeah.
But let's
It
talk about
does.
say your thing real quick.
I was just gonna say it does raise the question. Is he gonna show up this season, or are they gonna wait till the next one?
Yeah, I'm as of now because we are over halfway done with the season at this point. I'm gonna guess next season.
I would guess that too. I
Yeah.
I think at most maybe we'll get another tease for him in the finale.
Hmm.
I don't think Ahsoka is gonna have like a super prominent role, and I don't think she needs to because this is
No.
supposed to be Mando and Baby Yoda.
Yeah. I mean, this is like that is the story about Mando and what did he say? Krogu was it?
Grogu.
Rogu. Okay.
Grogu.
Uh, which one is it? Grogu?
Grogu.
Okay,
Grogu.
Grogu. Um, yeah, this is the story of Mando and Grogu. This is their
Yeah.
story, and I like Ahsoka, but she doesn't need to be. She doesn't need what she kind of did in Rebels and kind of take over the story.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. They don't. She doesn't need to be a prominent role.
yeah.
But it'd be cool if with this setup, because I think that Thrawn drop is just gonna be like a. I think that's just a little hint of what Ahsoka
Yeah.
is currently doing in universe right now. I don't think.
Which makes sense because Thrawn. Let me put it this: If Thrawn
Rebels
has
ended.
returned to Rebels, if I remember, Rebels ended with Thrawn and Ezra getting sent to like somewhere in the unknown regions. They are
Yeah,
off in no man's land. But if Thrawn has returned to the galaxy at large, he would be the biggest threat against the New Republic,
yeah. So that makes sense
like he
because
was in the old canon.
yeah, because he so the Rebels series ended with them, Ahsoka and Sabine. Now it's actually come back to my memory. It wasn't what I said in the beginning at all. They were going to find Ezra,
Right.
see if he's still out there. So it
Mhm.
wasn't what I said earlier. So my
Yeah,
bad.
that's fine. But no, so I said earlier how this episode's kind of left me a little torn. I'm at this point I'm always going to be cautious when they reintroduce old stuff into new canon because I'm worried about how they portrayed. But because I said
Yeah,
earlier that I don't want them to bring Thrawn back. In fact, I never wanted them to bring Thrawn into this version of Star Wars because
yeah,
I feel like he doesn't fit. But that being said, if they do bring him back for Mandalorian, let's just say, and Dave Filoni does a really good job of portraying him as his classical version of the character, as opposed to his rather kind of nerfed character he was in Rebels. That would be really interesting to see.
yeah. Um, Honestly, my prediction, I don't think they're gonna bring him back in Mandalorian. I think
No.
Ahsoka will pop up here and there in this show, but I think what they have set up here is the potential for an Ahsoka spin-off where Thrawn could be the target for her character.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think they
Be-
could pull that off pretty well if that's what
yeah,
they do.
yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Grant. And again, if they can pull off Thrawn the same way they pulled off the other returning characters so far, um, I will be impressed because I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not a huge Thrawn fan. I haven't read all of the books he's been in, but I understand why a lot of the classic fans like him because he was a very unique and effective villain in his
Mhm.
trilogy. And the Rebels' interpretation of the character got like the cliff notes of the character right, but he was not nearly as effective as a antagonist as he should have been. But if they can fix that in a hypothetical Ahsoka spinoff or whatever, that would make my day. It really would.
Oh yeah.
Because Thrawn deserves just as much as love as Ahsoka got in this episode.
Yeah, if they
He
do
really does.
Thrawn as well as they did Ahsoka in this episode, that'd be great.
Yeah. And that brings me to this little kind of thought I had while watching this episode.
Hmm.
If if the people behind the sequel movies didn't have their head up their asses and they were planning long term in terms of like if they were planning like their movie in tandem with all the other stuff they're releasing, Thrawn should have been the supreme commander of the First Order.
Oh,
He should have been the guy in charge. Like Thrawn, after being sent into the unknown regions, reemerges into a galaxy with a whole new fleet as his command. He's going to attempt to re reclaim the galaxy to at least a form of the Empire.
absolutely. Yeah.
Which is basically what he was trying to do in the old books. That's really what the sequel should have been,
Hmm.
if I'm being
Yeah.
perfectly honest. Had they
Yeah.
planned ahead and included all the stuff in the expanded stuff in Rebels and Clone Wars, it should have been Thrawn returns to the galaxy. Um, an older Ezra and Ahsoka have to deal with him. That should have been the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. I agree. And I think that could have been cool hypothetically,
Mhm.
but you know, that's Oh, speaking of the sequel trilogy, this is something that I wanted to touch on very briefly. Was something that happened in last week's episode.
Uh-huh.
So, when they walked into that lab and saw those deformed things or whatever
Yeah.
that they were using Baby Yoda's blood for because of his midichlorian count.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was. I wouldn't be surprised if Gideon is maybe working for Palpatine and he's commissioned him to use Baby Yoda to try to create Snoke.
Huh.
Because you know where.
That would almost be an interesting fan theory if I gave a shit about Snoke.
Yeah.
Had he
I mean,
been a character in his own right, I might have actually applauded that because that's kind
yeah.
of interesting.
Well, like, it's just. It's unfortunate that Mando has to deal with the fact that it's leading into the sequel trilogy.
Not just Mando,
So
every expanded material that they release now that takes place in this era has to keep in the back of their mind that the sequel trilogies are a thing, and at least at this point in time, can still considered canon. So any
unless
p- any any TV show, movie, novel, or whatever story they release that takes place in the pre-sequel era, they have to keep that in mind for continuity's sake, and that fucking sucks. That really limits what they can
yeah,
do. Because if
unless
it if it wasn't for those movies, then what we're getting right now with Ahsoka is is down the. This is what I was one of the deals talking about earlier. Obviously, if I were writing Ahsoka right now, obviously right now she would have hangups about training new Jedi, but later down the line, and especially after she meets Luke in a hypothetical novel,
yeah,
and she interacts with them and sees how well Luke turns out, despite the fact that he's the literal son of Vader,
yeah,
um, those two go off and start the new Jedi Order for this timeline. Um,
hypothetically, yes. If
yeah,
Ahsoka met Luke,
and it doesn't get burned to the ground by an angsty teenager. It's
yeah.
overnight. Like
Well, I was
that's how
gonna
it should have
say,
been,
like,
but we can't have that,
I
and it
don't know
sucks.
if Ahsoka is ever going to meet Luke. I don't think she will,
No.
because
And again, that's a huge missed opportunity because, oh, man, I
well, honestly,
the story
I
would
don't
write
want her
itself.
to. I don't want her to, honestly,
Okay,
because
you don't.
I just want this series to stay separate from all the OT and sequel stuff, you
I
know?
mean, I don't want a CGI Luke to show up in Mando, but like when I'm like in a hypothetical, like if Ahsoka got another novel for say, and they were tying into stuff from other stuff, it was in that instance I would like her to meet Luke, not in Mando. I don't want Mando to meet Luke.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mando I still want separate from all the Jedi Order stuff for the most part.
that's
Uh,
what I
but
meant. I don't want
but
I
just
don't
just speaking hypothetically, if I were writing another Ahsoka novel or whatever, not a TV show because we can't have unless we'd recast Luke, we can't have him show up in a TV show for obvious reasons. But
yeah.
if I was writing a novel or making a video game or something, I would have at some point Ahsoka meet Luke because that's a story that would write itself, to be honest. And but because of how we know how Luke's order turns out because of the sequels, it
Well,
just it ruins any potential story I could tell because in the end Luke has to fail, and not just fail like a bitch.
yeah.
And that's just Luke Skywalker's not a bitch. I'm sorry, but he's not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sorry. Luke Skywalker is not a bitch. Period.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
mean,
but you get the gist at this point.
if I'm being honest, I would even if it were a book, I think I'd rather just keep Ahsoka separate. If I'm being
Can you
fully
can you
honest.
explain to me why you feel that way?
Sure. So you know how, which is unfortunate, but you and I both know how Luke's Jedi Order turns out. And
Yes.
I don't want Ahsoka to be a part of that, but
No, neither do
also,
I. I didn't want Luke to be a part of it either. Ugh.
yeah, I don't,
But finish.
unless hypothetically they just choose to ignore or retcon the sequel trilogy completely.
Which honestly, if they're going to continue with this version of the continuity, I feel like Lucasfilm should just go ahead and do. Um,
They should honestly at this point, but they're probably not going to do that. So I
At least not anytime soon.
yeah, I would say I don't want I don't want them to uh have, at least at this point with the sequel trilogy as it is. I don't want Ahsoka to be a part of this whole thing with Luke because we know how it turns out. And the thing is, she's not in the sequel trilogy. So if she does go with Luke, hypothetically, who would be the one who kills her?
Hmm. That's a good
Yeah,
question.
Kylo.
Except
But it would have to.
no way. The fact, despite the fact that there's no way in hell Kylo Ren could beat Ahsoka,
Yeah,
especially at that, because especially in that point in the timeline, hypothetically, Ahsoka would be Grandmaster level, and no way in
right.
hell could little baby Kylo be
Right.
fucking
That's what I mean.
Grandmaster
That
Ahsoka Tano.
that's what I mean. The only way that would explain her absence in the sequel trilogy and she met up with Luke would be if she died uh, when Kylo Ren destroys the Luke's Jedi Order. And yeah, there's no way in hell Kylo Ren is beating Ahsoka Tano.
Right, and just to clarify, when I was talking about hypothetical Luke and Ahsoka meeting and her helping Luke with his new order, that does not apply with at all happens at the sequels. That's
Right.
because, like, I think you and I are this the point we're both getting at. That'd be a very disrespectful end for a character,
Yes, absolutely. So
as it was for everyone else
unless
involved in that mess.
unless they retcon the sequel trilogy completely, then I would probably never be okay with the idea of Ahsoka meeting
Yeah.
Luke. But if they do, then I would be like, okay, then maybe we could do something with this.
Yeah, total agreement. And I don't see it happen anytime soon, but I do think, especially eventually, when Lucasfilm does have a change in leadership, I do think it'll
Yeah.
happen eventually because no one likes. Let's be honest, no one, unless your name's Ryan Johnson, no one likes anything about the sequel trilogy. The fans,
Yeah.
the people who watched it didn't like it. The people who made it didn't like it. The people behind the people who made it didn't like how it turned out. So it's just kind of this it's just kind of this like pile of dog shit that's just sitting on the floor and we're just waiting for someone to finally pick it up and throw it in the toilet. That's how I honestly feel about it. It's one way or another,
Yeah.
give it enough time, it's going away. We can
And
never
then,
forget about it, but we can at least, in terms of the canon, ignore it, which will be a day I
yeah.
will mark as a fucking holiday when it happens.
The day it happens is a new
But
day.
yes,
And unfortunately,
National Star Wars became decent again day. Uh,
and unfortunately, there are still people out there who love The Last Jedi and think it's a masterpiece.
and those people can say whatever they want. We don't care about them.
Yeah,
Let them huddle in their own little corner of the internet and let them say whatever they want. We're not talking. Those people don't apply to this conversation.
right. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
most
But
people are
so
happy with it.
while we're on this subject, just out of curiosity, and I know we're a little off topic at this point, but
No, it's fine.
how would you end Ahsoka's story? If hypothetically you were to write her next big arc or whatever, like how would you end her story?
See, this would be a lot easier if I could retcon the sequel trilogy.
Just okay, then just ignore the sequels. Hypothetically, if you could
Okay.
ignore the sequels and have complete um um creative freedom from this point onward, what would you do with her character?
Okay. And this is just off the top of my head. I would need much more time to think about it if I were actually, the writer for it. I would need a lot more time to figure that out. But
Okay.
if you're asking me like here and now, I would
Just generally. You don't have to get in super specific. Just generally, how would you end her character?
I think in general I would have her I would not have her killed. I would have her die of natural causes. Maybe um
Like old age.
yeah, like a sort of
Like
peaceful death.
like she helps rebuild the order for like I don't know how long the degree to lifespan is, but every time she has left, maybe help out a couple battles here and there, and then after her time is up, she does a Yoda and just fades into the Force with her mission fulfilled.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
That's
I'm
just off the top of my head.
yeah.
I don't know. As of right now, I can't think of any hypothetical situation where she would die in like a huge like hand to hand combat specifically.
Like a Blaze of Glory situation where she go
Yeah.
like a Boromir. She goes out like a fucking champ, taking like half of the enemy's army with her, hypothetically, or something like that.
Yeah. I can't think of any situation where that would happen.
Hmm.
As at least right now. But I mean, honestly, either one would be good. Like, if they could come up with some kind of situation where that she could have a blaze of glory death, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that I was saying the same way too. Like if I could have it one of two ways, either she dies peacefully as like an old lady, um, with her mission fulfilled, or she goes out in a blaze of glory and gets whatever huge threat the New Republic faces, and she sacrifices herself for both the New Order, the New Jedi Order, and the New Republic, and it's really cool and satisfying. Those were the two ways I would have her go out because anything less, I think, would be disrespectful to her character at this point. And I'm making it sound like Ahsoka's my favorite character. She's really not, but I do have a lot of respect for her character, and I do think she deserves, much like most of the characters in the franchise at this point, she deserves a lot more.
She is my favorite character outside of Darth Vader.
Hmm.
I just, yeah, I love her portrayal in this episode.
Hmm.
It was
Yeah.
great.
So, is there anything else you wanted to talk about besides? Let's talk about Baby Yoda's name. How do you feel about
Oh,
the
sure.
name?
I'm glad they did that.
Yeah.
For a long time now, I've wanted to, even though I will most likely still
Keep
call
calling him
him,
Baby Yoda
yeah,
because
and
we've been doing it for like 2 years now, and that's gonna be a very hard habit to break.
yeah, so I'm probably just gonna still call him Baby Yoda, but for the longest time, I've wanted them to give him his own identity. That
Right.
is like in canon, like in universe, I want him to have a name that isn't just Baby Yoda. I want him
Yeah.
to actually have his own character and his own identity.
Right. No, completely agree. But how do you feel
Yeah.
about the name itself? Do you like it? Would you give him something else? Like,
No, I like it, honestly.
okay,
I'm I accept the name.
okay.
Did you think it was a little weird?
It'll take a little. I don't hate the name. It's just it's gonna take a little while to get used to, is all. But no, I'm
Yeah.
fine with the name.
Yeah.
Kroga. You
Like
get it sounds a little like Yoda, but it has its own little touch to it too, which is nice.
I feel like any name that they gave him would have taken a while to get used to, no matter
Yeah,
what
but
it was. So,
that's fine.
yeah, names don't really change anything for me. Like that's not really a thing that bothers me. It's like a name is a name, like whatever, you know?
Yeah. I mean, imagine in the sense that, um, at least in terms of writing, a character's name is a reflection of that character. Um, Luke's last name being Skywalker, Skywalker, walking the skies. A name like a person with that kind of name is a very high destiny sort of name, so it's very fitting in
Mm-hmm.
that sense. But his first name is also Luke, which is a very simple name. So he then represents the as a
The
is
everyman.
rather is yeah, like his like being a Morster farm and all that. Like despite the fact he was born from like Anakin and whatnot, he comes from a very mundane lifestyle. His first chunk of life living on Tatooine, but he rises to the sky, so to speak, and becomes something greater. So
Yeah.
names are important. Just
Yeah. No, they definitely are. I just Um, I mean, I like it when characters have names that reflect who they are. Like that's a cool little addition, but I just like that for me. That's just sort of a icing on the cake sort of thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
definitely.
I'm like I just would rather just have a distinct personality and you know a
Right.
little depth. You know.
The character should make the name, not the other way around. Because let's face it, Grant, before when the original movie came out, what the fuck does Obi-Wan Kenobi mean? But like that's just gibberish. But after after the first movie came out and the legacy it's left behind, everyone knows who Obi-Wan Kenobi is.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I agree.
Okay,
Is
and
there anything else?
I've kind of said everything I wanted to say.
I
Is
think I
there
have
any?
two.
Okay. Oh, one more thing. One
Okay.
more thing. One more thing. This is a little thing that bugs me. It's not the episode start or anything. It's something I've expected for a while, but this episode more or less confirms it with Beskar being lightsaber resistant.
Yeah.
So there was another lightsaber resistant metal in the old canon. It was called cortosis, and it was pretty much the same thing. I'm just
Okay.
me being the Star Wars boomer I am on the inside. Uh, I'm saddened of the change of the name. Nothing's wrong with the name Beskar. I'm just sad that they changed it.
Oh, that's. I think that's a perfectly valid feeling to have. I
Absolutely minor, not a criticism against anything about Mandalorian. Sad that that they changed the name for something that's basically the same thing as it was before.
yeah, I actually really like the name Beskar.
It's a cool
But
name.
that's yeah, that's because I'm not an EU shill. Like I haven't read the books, so
I mean,
stuff
Catorsis,
doesn't
it's it's
bother
it's
me.
it's literally one for one the same thing as Beskar. It's a very rare but powerful metal that can resist blaster bolts and lightsabers pretty well.
Yeah,
It's more or less the same thing. I'm just
and
sad into.
I think it's really cool that they actually confirmed it now that Beskar is lightsaber resistant. I like
Yeah,
that
I'm a little curious about that because um, I
because if it
was
can
wondering how
deflect,
they're gonna
but
go with that.
if it can deflect blaster bullets, why wouldn't it be able to deflect a lightsaber?
Right.
You know?
You know, reflecting energy is reflecting energy.
Right.
Um, But just to give Cortoses one last send off, and just in case it is completely retconned out of the universe, one cool thing that I've seen before is that there's a comic where Darth Vader is fighting some person who's using a blade made of Beskar, and when the Beskar blade made contact with Darth Vader's lightsaber blade, it actually shorted out Vader's lightsaber for a few seconds.
Ooh,
Yeah. So
interesting.
that okay, I guess there are some sort of differences. The problem with Beskar is even though it's very lightsaber resistant, it's a very brittle metal on its own. So it's not a weapon you would like fight against an actual steel blade, but it's good against energy weapons. But
Yeah.
also, I
Oh,
just want to say that after that, Vader ended that fight by just grabbing the person by the neck and just breaking her neck. So
nice.
it was
But
so Vader wasn't in any trouble at all. But I don't know, just a little neat tidbit for
right.
Cortosis.
Yeah, but so you know what I just realized, dude?
What?
So Mando now has the Beskar weapon. So
Yeah, a spear.
now he has a weapon that can go up against Moff Gideon and the Darksaber.
Which I'm really happy they did because
Yeah,
because look, man, lightsabers are cool. We both agree about that. They're fucking
yeah.
awesome. But the problem with it is that unless the opponent also has like either a lightsaber or another energy based weapon and isn't like 20 feet away, he's gonna die. I mean,
Yeah.
like they're pretty an OP weapon. Having a weapon that can basically just cut through almost anything is a pretty overpowered weapon. So I was wondering how they're gonna handle a hypothetical fight with Mando and Gideon because he has the dark saber, which functionally is the same thing as a lightsaber. But now that he has a weapon that can stand up against to it, we can actually have a one-on-one fight, which is something I'm really excited for.
That would be awesome. A one-on-one duel between Mando and Gideon. That'd be great.
Enter Duel of Fates here.
Yes. uh, this
But no,
episode has me really excited for the rest.
What I'm about to say is very melodramatic, but this single episode of The Mandalorian has brought me something I haven't seen in the franchise for a long time, and that's hope. I know that's really cheesy and
Yeah.
corny to say, but I mean it. Like
Yeah.
that's just a really good episode for Mandalorian. This was the single best piece of uh Star Wars media that I've seen in years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, granted, I didn't finish the last season of Clone Wars. I hear that was pretty good, but I didn't see that,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure if you feel that way about that. But for
Um.
me, um, it's been about 5 to 8 years since I've really felt a connection with anything new Star Wars released. This really impressed me. It really did.
Yeah. I agree completely, and I Clone Wars meant more to me personally, but from your point of view, I absolutely agree. Like this is definitely the like best Star Wars thing to
Yeah.
come out in years.
Yeah, and not the shit on TCW, man. It's just like for me, I've seen the Clone Wars told and interpreted in like half a dozen different ways at this point, from TV shows, comics, novels, etc. Is that I'm just sick of Clone Wars in general. It's easily the most oversaturated aspect of the timeline in either timeline. That includes OLU too. So
That's
it's just
understandable.
so by the time like TCW has finally wrapped itself up, I just do not care.
Yeah. No,
As
that's
much as I like Ahsoka and Rex and that and whatnot, I just don't care about Clone Wars anymore. I'm ready for a new era.
that's an understandable perspective.
Hmm.
Yeah, I love this show, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
All right, I
Okay.
think that
I
about
think that's
wraps it up.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say. I loved this episode. Until next week, let's hope the next ones are good as well.
Oh, dude, I just realized something.
Yeah,
White saber versus dark saber.
that'd be cool.
Symbolism.
Yeah. All right. Until next week, I'm gonna end the video now.